Practice mindfulness. You have to adopt some sort of mindfulness practice to change and always be aware of your mindset. Mindfulness enables you to zero in on the present moment. You're not bent out of shape about the past, and you're not weighed down by the anxiety of the future. Instead, you are focusing on what's happening right here, right now. You're focusing on reality as it unfolds. Different models of mindfulness for different people. Different people have different preferences as far as their mindsets are concerned. Some people do well with certain types of meditation and mindfulness practices. Others do less as well. The key is to avoid thinking that there is some sort of one-size-fits-all mindfulness solution for you. Instead, cycle through and experiment with the different mindfulness options I'm going to give you below. Please understand that this is not an exhaustive list. There are many different variations to these, as well as many different unique ways of achieving mindfulness. I'm just giving you these as a sampler. Once you get used to these techniques, or you pick one that works for you, you might want to take things to the next level and explore other related mindfulness or meditation options. Present observation meditation. This method is also known as single object observation. When you practice present observation meditation, all you're doing is looking at an item in front of you. That's all you're doing. What makes this type of meditation or mindfulness practice so powerful is because you pour all your sensory effort at that object. When you're that focused on the texture, the color, the shape, and all other descriptive dimensions of the object in front of you, you're not thinking about past childhood trauma. You're not thinking about the things that you normally worry about. You're definitely not feeling any anxiety. Instead, you just allow your mind to focus all its power on something that exists in front of you, right here, right now. This clues you into the present moment and helps you establish a tremendous amount of mental, emotional, and psychic discipline. Awesome, right? Waking meditation. Also known as walking meditation, this is one of the most practical meditation or mindfulness techniques available. Walking meditation or waking meditation is all about allowing yourself to be fully present in an outdoor setting, taking in all the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures. In other words, you're allowing yourself the opportunity to be fully alive in a particular point in time and in a particular place. When you're taking in all this input, you allow yourself to get locked in the present moment and your mind is not wandering. You're celebrating life and time within a tight space. Sure, you're walking, but your point of focus walks with you. This is a great way of taking full ownership of your surrounding mentality. This builds a tremendous amount of discipline because you're constantly shifting your focus. It allows you to be out and about and commune with nature, but at your own terms. So, this is a very powerful form of meditation exercise. And it's also very practical. You're not locking yourself behind closed doors. You're not assuming the lotus position, and you're not even closing your eyes. Instead, you're out and about, completely living your life. Transcendental meditation. This technique uses a silent mantra. Transcendental meditation has a scary ring to it because of the word transcendental. A lot of people are not all that comfortable with religion. It doesn't sit well with them. I understand, fair enough. But please remember that transcendental meditation uses a silent mantra that doesn't mean anything. Mantra, in the Buddhist or in the Hindu tradition, is supposed to mean something. This is not one of those. It's just a repeated saying that enables you to pace your breathing so you can track your consciousness in a rhythmic way. Transcendental meditation is powerful precisely because it enables you to create a conscious rhythm within you that empowers you to destroy thought. Done right, transcendental meditation doesn't trigger thought. How powerful is that? You're suffering from anxiety because it seems that almost every other thought you have is something fearful, worrisome, or horrific. There's just something about each and every passing thought that adds to your fear of either the past, the future, or your concerns about other people. Transcendental meditation is the complete opposite of that. It is 180 degrees away from any notions of self, fear, doubt, anger, or emotions. How come? You don't think. Thoughts are vaporized by transcendental meditation. They can't even begin to bring some sort of emotional impact because they don't even materialize. That's how powerful transcendental meditation is. And the best part to all of this? It's effortless. You just repeat your silent mantra and eventually it sinks in. Eventually, your thoughts start to vaporize sooner rather than later. And before you know it, they don't even form. Really mind-blowing stuff. In fact, a lot of people report tingling in their extremities because they are freed from material and physical attachment and grasping. There's no need to always feel in control. There's no need to prove yourself. There's no need to hang on. That's how powerful transcendental meditation is. Counting your breath. This technique enables you to watch your thoughts overhead. When you count your breath, eventually, you will be able to achieve distance from your thoughts. It's like you're sitting back and watching the clouds roll through the sky. As big and as dark as certain clouds may be, if you look at them long enough, you would notice that they're slowly moving. Eventually, with enough time, they will completely pass overhead. When you learn how to count your breath and acknowledge your thoughts, eventually, they will just simply pass over your head. When you learn how to do breath counting correctly, you would realize that you only need to acknowledge your thoughts. You're not denying them. You're not sweeping them under the rug. You're just acknowledging that they exist, and then you let them move on. You don't take hold of them. You don't try to reduce them into terms you could understand. You don't try to conquer them. You don't try to confront them. You don't do any of that. Those are the things that you normally do, and that's why you're anxious. That's why you are racked with all sorts of negative emotions like guilt, remorse, and a sense of worthlessness. Instead, when you count your breath, you still take ownership of the thought because you acknowledge that it's part of you, but you let it pass, only to be replaced by another thought, and you let that pass. Before you know it, you will start to be able to think about certain things without necessarily getting all worked up and emotional about them. This, in and of itself, makes the counting of your breath mindfulness practice worth incorporating into your daily routine. Regardless of which flavor of meditation or mindfulness you adopt, pick one. You will do yourself a very big favor when it comes to managing your anxiety on a permanent and sustainable basis.